things clutter the mind, and the less I have, the freer I feel. And for me, it's to find a lot of Japanese philosophy is finding that balance point where to add one more thing would be too much, but to take anything away would be lacking. And that's the point I strive to live at. I've always built my own stuff. I built my own motorcycles, and I chose that route over buying an RV because I built it myself. I know the quality that's in it. I know how long it's going to last, and because I built it myself, I know every detail of it, the wiring, the plumbing system. So it's easier to fix. I find that when I work on other people's stuff, it's harder. Even with wiring diagrams, sometimes it's harder. So, and the stealth thing was pretty much when I go into big cities, I feel that something that looks like an RV, when you're away from, you have out-of-state plates, you're away from the vehicle for a long period of time, I feel that's more of, it attracts negative attention than something that just looks like a work truck. I knew the basic layout I wanted and how I wanted to use the space. I knew how much gear I wanted to store in the space. So that was all laid out, and basically it was the design that needed to go into it. So I thought of what I'm going to use this thing for, and similar things, sailboats, spaceships, things like that. And I went with the International Space Station thing. So it gives something fun to live in. I have my bed pretty high up, and that way I can have a lot of storage. That was the big thing with this build, is to have a lot of storage under it. And the sticker wall, that's pretty much a slick wall. There's nothing on that wall. At the end of that wall, I have a CB radio. That way when I'm somewhere really remote, if I need emergency communications, I can use that. Then on the other side, I have the solar controller, so I could see my state of charge. And I have a closed circuit television that's a backup camera. It doubles as. So when I'm in the front seat, I can reach around and see out that. But if I'm inside and everything's closed because there's no windows, I can also see outside using that. And the last thing in the back is the metal kits right by the back doors. So if I need to get to them, they're there. And outside, you have the side doors, which you can't access from the living compartment because I have an exterior kitchen. When you're doing a build, it seems to drag on, and you can tend to want to hurry things up and get it done, but then once it's done, you're living with that. So it's better to slow down and take that time. And I got that from my machinist teacher. He used to tell us that because you get in a rush as a machinist, you mess everything up, so it gives you enough time to do it all over again. I'm a foodie. Part of traveling, I've been all over the world with the military, and I feel the best way to experience a culture is by its food. So when I go new places, I go in the supermarkets, I try to eat what the locals eat, and that's where my interest in food comes from. Just because you're camping, it doesn't have to be ramen and beanie weenies. That you can put out some good meals. And this last trip we did, I did the entire thing off of dry stores, nothing with a cooler, and we had a very diverse menu. The way I've handled budget for the trips is I usually have an end destination in mind. Like the last trip I did was to North Dakota. So I'm going from the East Coast to there. So I figure how many miles I got, and I slow my speed down where I only drive 55, and that greatly increases my gas mileage. And I know when I'm going to be stopping, and that's another reason why I have a stealth van, is because I'm not paying to sleep anywhere. When I do highway speeds, I get about 14 miles to the gallon, and when I do 55, I get about 19. Part of living the way I do, I mean, look at this phone. That's my original cell phone. Part of living the way I do is I am disconnected from digital media. I feel people think they're more connected to each other, but that kind of media actually separates us. So I don't have a Facebook. I don't go on forums. My only connection with that digital world is YouTube. Other than that, I try to keep real people in my life.